Imagine, it's 2024 and a solar storm is headed straight for Earth. What would happen? A question that may seem unsettling, yet holds a fascinating allure. The very thought sends a ripple of curiosity coursing through our minds. What would be the effects of such an event? Would it be a spectacle of nature's raw power, or a calamity that threatens our way of life? As we embark on this journey of discovery, we must first comprehend the nature of our subject. To answer this, we first need to understand what a solar storm is. A solar storm or a solar flare is a sudden flash of increased brightness on the sun. This natural phenomenon is much more than a simple light show. It's a violent eruption that releases energy equivalent to millions of hydrogen bombs exploding at the same time. So what causes these spectacular yet potentially destructive events? The answer lies in the sun's magnetic field. Just like Earth, the sun has a magnetic field, but it's far more complex and dynamic. The sun's magnetic field lines twist and turn, and when they become too entangled, they break and reconnect, releasing massive amounts of energy in the form of solar storms. These storms send a cascade of high-energy particles known as a coronal mass ejection, or CME, hurtling through the solar system at incredible speeds. These particles, primarily electrons and protons, race towards Earth, carrying with them the sun's magnetic field. Now let's talk about the science behind these solar storms. They're a subject of ongoing study, and scientists use various tools like solar observatories and spacecraft to understand their nature. One thing we know for sure is that the energy these storms release is colossal. To put it into perspective, a single solar storm can unleash energy up to 1,000 times the worldwide electricity consumption. But how does this energy interact with the solar system? Well, most of it gets absorbed by the sun's outer atmosphere. However, the particles that do escape travel across the solar system, potentially impacting planets in their path. When these particles reach Earth, they can cause geomagnetic storms, which we'll discuss in the next scene. The sun, in all its fiery glory, is a cosmic power station, continuously churning out energy. While solar storms are a testament to this massive energy production, they also remind us of the sun's potential to disrupt life as we know it. Now that we know what a solar storm is, let's delve into the consequences of such a storm hitting Earth. The effects of a solar storm hitting Earth can be both fascinating and frightening. A solar storm's interaction with our planet's magnetic field can create a dazzling spectacle in the form of the northern and southern lights, also known as auroras. These fantastical displays of color that light up the night sky are not only a treat for the eyes, but also a visible demonstration of the sun's influence on our planet. But this celestial spectacle comes with a price. As solar storms, or coronal mass ejections, hurl billions of tons of solar particles towards Earth, they carry with them an enormous amount of energy. When this energy collides with our planet's magnetic field, it can trigger geomagnetic storms. These storms are not something we can see or feel, but they can have far-reaching effects on our technology-reliant world. Just imagine, one moment you're enjoying a cozy evening at home, the next, you're plunged into darkness. Power grids, particularly those in high-latitude regions, are extremely vulnerable to these geomagnetic disturbances. A strong solar storm could potentially lead to widespread and prolonged power outages, plunging entire cities or even countries into darkness. But the effects don't stop at our front doors. In our increasingly interconnected world, we rely on satellites for everything from GPS navigation to weather forecasting. A solar storm's charged particles can severely disrupt these satellite systems, creating havoc in many aspects of our daily lives. Your morning commute, your weather app, even your Friday night Netflix binge could all be affected. In more extreme cases, these storms could pose a threat to astronauts in space. The high-energy particles can penetrate the walls of spacecraft, posing a radiation hazard to those inside. Yet, despite these potentially devastating impacts, it's important to remember that our planet has withstood countless solar storms throughout its history. Our magnetic field is a robust shield, protecting us from the sun's more harmful effects. So, a solar storm can cause significant disruption, but should we be worried? As with many things in life, the answer isn't quite black and white, but that's a topic for another scene. The threat level of solar storms depends on their intensity and our preparedness. It's a bit like a game of cosmic roulette, with the odds heavily influenced by the sun's activity cycle and our planet's protective measures. Let's talk about the likelihood of a serious solar storm hitting Earth. While it's true that our sun is constantly throwing off a stream of charged particles, most of these solar winds are harmless. However, occasionally the sun erupts with a colossal solar flare or a coronal mass ejection. These intense storms, while less common, could potentially cause significant harm to our modern technology-dependent world. So, what are we doing to protect ourselves? Well, fortunately, we're not sitting ducks in this cosmic shooting gallery. Scientists around the globe are monitoring the sun's activity, using advanced technology to predict major solar storms and give us a heads up. There's also ongoing research into developing more resilient technology, able to withstand the electromagnetic onslaught of a solar storm. But it's not just about the tech. Our planet itself has a natural defense, the magnetic field. This invisible shield helps deflect many of the harmful particles, preventing them from reaching the surface. In the end, while solar storms pose a potential threat, our understanding and preparedness can help mitigate the risks. We may not be able to control the sun's temper tantrums, but we can certainly prepare for them. So a solar storm in 2024 could have varied impacts on Earth. We've explored the nature of solar storms, these magnificent yet potentially devastating cosmic events. We've seen how they're born from the sun's turbulent activity and how they can unleash a wave of charged particles towards our planet. We've delved into the potential impact of such an event. Our modern, tech-driven world could face serious disruptions, from power grid failures to satellite malfunctions. We've also discussed the threat level, acknowledging that while these storms are a part of our solar system's natural cycle, their occurrence isn't a daily phenomenon. We've examined our preparedness, understanding that while we've made significant strides in space weather forecasting, there's still much to learn. There's a need for continuous research, monitoring, and advancements in technology to mitigate potential damages. While the thought of a solar storm might be unsettling, remember, knowledge is our best defense against the unknown.